The reviews aren't looking good, are they? Nor is the box office. Many online reviews are saying the same thing. So the movie plot in 3 sentences. At the end of the Second World War, Indiana Jones and his friend seized or recovered an ancient object from the Nazis, half of Archimedes' dial. Fast forward 20 plus years to 1969 and an old, miserable Indiana Jones is retiring and is approached by his goddaughter Helena to reunite the ancient artifact with its other half, thereby making it functional, possibly, as a time machine. Indiana and Helena then escape Nazis in Manhattan in a horse chase, escape Nazis in Morocco, a tuk-tuk chase, a dive to a shipwreck in the Aegean, chased by Nazis, and finally visit Archimedes' tomb, chased by Nazis, after which they, Indiana, Helena and the Nazis, all end up time-travelling to ancient Greece in 212 BC and fail to achieve anything. In short, I'm sad. Only 12 months ago, Top Gun Maverick knocked it out of the park by telling a story of love and respect about a character many decades later in his life. Here, neither the filmmakers nor Indiana Jones's sidekick Helena show love and respect to one of cinema's and modern culture's most iconic characters, Indiana Jones himself, in his last, hurrah. The film is not only in stark contrast to Top Gun Maverick, but also to the best, in my mind, Indiana Jones movie, The Last Crusade. The action pieces have all been done before, not only in indie films but elsewhere. Fights on trains, chases through city parades, tuk-tuk-like chases in narrow streets, so nothing new there. And navigating ancient world intrigue has been done better in the first trilogy. But for me, the real fails of the latest instalment are character, casting and relationship. Character. Indy is shown as an old, unhappy, even depressed man. His career was ending, his son had been killed, he was divorced, and the filmmakers missed a golden opportunity. Why couldn't the main character be shown as knowledgeable, wise, a font of knowledge, and warmly appreciated? Audiences old and young would flock to a happy, cheeky, smart Indy, albeit slower moving. Who was this portrait of misery aimed at? Secondly, as the other main character, arguably the lead character, Helena repeatedly disrespected Indiana, often referring dismissively to his age. It was just depressing. Greedy, self-centered, charmless, she places Indy in physical danger to satisfy her own greed, eventually punching him in the face when he expresses a desire to retire in ancient Greece. She repeatedly saves the day in a wholly unbelievable manner without having demonstrated her history of acquiring skills or experience. She has no redeeming characteristics. And so on to the casting, but it was not only the character. Why would Disney Lucasfilm cast an actress unknown to the movie-going audience? Phoebe Waller-Bridge hasn't starred in any other movie as far as I can see. I liked her Fleabag, I thought it was very good, but why cast her in this? Onto the relationship between the two characters. So I like to hark back to The Last Crusade. Where was Sean Connery or his equivalent? One of the best things about The Last Crusade was the relationship between Sean Connery as Indy's father and Indy himself. You learned more about Indy during the course of the film, and you witnessed Dr Jones Snr, Sean Connery, learn to appreciate his son as their warmth grew in the movie. This was Steven Spielberg describing the evolution of the relationship between father and son.
And the great moment in that movie for me, first Indy is holding Elsa, and Indy says to Elsa,
"Give me your other hand, honey, I can't hold you!"
Elsa keeps trying to reach greedily, and of course the glove comes off her hand, she falls to her death. All of a sudden, as Indy almost slips over, the father grabs him. Now, the roles are reversed. And Indy has the same kind of moment.
I can get it.
And the greed that Elsa felt in her heart suddenly suffuses through Indy. And all through the movie, Dad only calls him Junior. But for the first time, he says,
Indiana, let him go.
And that stops Indy. And then Indy takes his other hand, and he's pulled to safety. And that was the bonding moment between father and son.
The thing I liked the most about the film is the real pleasure throwing the Grail away and realizing that being with his father was more important than any of this other stuff.
Back to the casting, which was bugging me. The filmmakers not only made the relationship warm and funny, but Sean Connery was a movie star. He could hold the screen opposite Indy's iconic character. Surely the filmmakers could have cast a heavyweight with proven screen charm as Indy's companion and as a character foil. Indiana's send-off could have been playful and warm rather than cynical and jaded. I left the movie theatre just sad and indifferent. At the end of the movie, Indiana expressed his wish to stay in ancient Greece. It made sense, but his lights were punched out by his annoying sidekick. So, how it should have been. How about this? On retirement, Indiana and his loving wife, Karen Allen's Marion, think about options for their post-retirement twilight years. The options include a quiet life by the sea, perhaps, who knows, Greece. But how would the adventurer Indiana survive a quiet life exploring his beloved ancient history? Then, at the end of the movie, Indiana and his wife Marion have it all, living by the sea in ancient Greece, with Indiana not only a student of Archimedes and physically exploring ancient Greece, but perhaps as a teacher to Archimedes and his students himself. As a subplot, you could have Indy's son, who never died, as a character foil who was fighting the Nazis and had pulled Indiana into the adventure in the first place. With the whole family being pulled through the fissure in time to ancient Greece, you could have a glorious family moment as Indy's grown son races back to the 20th century to foil some Nazi plot, having learned the trick from Archimedes himself, and leaving his parents to the retirement to dream of in ancient Greece. This could also set up another Dr. Jones trilogy with the son on further adventures trying to figure out how his father, Indiana Jones himself, might have tried to relay messages, advice or secrets down to his son thousands of years later in the hope it would foil some other catastrophe. That story might conclude with Indy's son trying to find his father's and mother's tomb in ancient Greece, tombs in which lie the secrets to, whatever you want. Anyway, I'm getting away with myself, it's not going to happen. But punching Indiana Jones in the face on the eve of his greatest adventure and denying him his destiny was the ultimate act of disrespect and disregard for his lifetime of efforts. So my sadness persists. My advice is go and watch Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. As for me, Dr. Jones, my love and respect.